Night Conference, every year we have amazing speakers who come and they share their stories and they share their wisdom and their insight. And this year is no exception to that. The woman who is going to be gracing the stage this evening is someone who I've been really privileged and really blessed to spend a lot of time with over the years. She is a woman of great humor, but great depth. I've never known someone to be able to make me laugh and cry in the same sentence, okay? She is awesome. Sometimes people have referred to her as the Maltese Mother Teresa. This evening, could you please put your hands together for Justine Cumbo? Go, Jazz.
Hey, I could actually see you guys. How are we going tonight? Yeah, I love it. I was like raring to go, side stage. I am so glad that you are here. The first day vibes are the best. And you know what? I have absolutely no idea at all what your Ignite experience is going to be, but all I know is that it is going to be good. Okay, so are you ready? I think you're ready. I think I can see it in your faces. And look, I'm an all or nothing kind of gal, okay? So tonight, we are just gonna jump in, yeah? And tonight, I'm gonna invite you to take a bit of a risk with me. I think you're a bunch of risk takers. And tonight, we are just gonna jump into the deep end of this Ignite conference experience. We're gonna jump in fully clothed. Don't even worry about your floaties. Ditch your goggles. You're not gonna need them. We're gonna start this journey. So are you with me? I'm sorry, I'm not quite convinced by that. Are you with me tonight, or am I going to be here by myself? Great. Well, let's do it. Look, I know you don't know me, I don't know you, so here are 3 facts that are really important that you need to know about me. Number 1, I have a phobia of fish, so don't ever try and take me to an aquarium. Number 2, I have accidentally set my own hair on fire twice. I have recovered. Thank you for asking. Number 3, my all-time favorite movie in the whole entire world is obviously My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Anyone else? Yeah, I love it. It's so good. Has anyone watched the movie? A couple. Okay, any Greeks in the house? Yeah, I love it. Cool. So for those of you who haven't watched the movie, this is the basic premise. There is a main character. Her name is Tula. She comes from an insane, big, loud, food-eating Greek family, and they are as Greek as you can get. I'm talking their garage door is a Greek flag. I'm talking they own a Greek restaurant, and Tula grew up going to Greek Sunday school every Sunday of her life. Now, when she gets into her 20s, she meets a boy. Ooh, his name is Ian Miller. Now, Ian Miller is a white, not Greek person, okay? And so for the entire movie, basically, we're following this journey where Tula is trying to introduce him to her insanely crazy but beautiful family without scaring him off, okay? And one of my favorite characters in this whole movie is Aunt Vula. Yes, their names rhyme. Aunt Vula. And I like to call her the TMI auntie, the too much information auntie. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Every family has one. Think of the family parties. She's the auntie that shares that little bit too much information that you didn't ask for but that you get anyway, okay? That's the TMI auntie. And I love her. I think she's hilarious. I think she's full of life. She wears red lipstick. I love it. And I think I figured out why I love her so much. And I think it's because I am the Aunt Vula of my family. I am the TMI auntie of my family, and I am proud of it, so whatever, okay? So, what I want to do now is I want to introduce you to Aunt Vula if you have not met her yet, and I want to show you a clip from the movie. Aunt Vula is meeting the in-laws, so Ian's white, not Greek parents, and thus she has a story that she wants to share with them. So, take a look up at the screens.
Go, sit down, go. All right, sit,
Yeah.
come, go now, go, the middle, come here. Sit down.
Thank you.
Sit down. Oh, now you are family. Okay, all my life, I had a lump at the back of my neck, right here, always a lump. Then I started menopause, and the lump got bigger. From the hormones, it started to grow. So I go to the doctor, and he did the biopsy. And inside the lump, he found teeth and a spinal column. inside the lump was my twin. Spanakopita, you hungry?
Love it. You gotta love a good delay. Bebop, bebop, bop, 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 bopsy, biopsy. I love her so much. And you know what? About a year ago, I too had a lump, okay? But it was smack bang in the middle of my forehead and it protruded out about 1 centimeter. But it did not contain the teeth and spine of my twin. But I had to get it removed, okay? Right there, smack bang in the middle of my head. And just my luck, I had to go under general anesthetic. So I had to go to hospital, they had to put me to sleep so that they could cut my whole brain and head open. That wasn't, it was 1 centimeter. But I remember rocking up to the hospital at like 6:30 in the morning, and they told me that I wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything for like 15 hours. I was like, what the heck? Do you even know me? This is impossible. But I did it. Anyways, so they also told me that I wasn't allowed to wear any makeup or do anything, you know, unnatural with my hair. And vulnerability share, if you know me, that's a little bit hard for me. So I was sitting in this like waiting room, feeling like a bit of a zombie, and it was pretty hard, and I felt a little bit uncomfortable. And you know what? Tonight, maybe some of you are feeling a little bit uncomfortable too, and you know what? It's okay. I understand you. You're my friend, you're gonna be okay. It was interesting because I was in this waiting room, and maybe about an hour later, I had watched about 36 infomercials about brooms and pots and pans that I never want to buy in my life. And a nurse from the distance called out my name, Justine. And I was like, I think that's me. So I stood up. I've never had surgery before for this 1 centimeter lump on my head, and I approached the doors of the unknown. Okay, so I was freaking out sufficiently. And then I was led into like this change room area, and they said, okay, you need to change out of all your clothes, leave all your clothes in there, your jewelry, your phone, your watch, your bag, everything, and just leave it in this room. And they swapped my incredible clothes for some pretty awesome ghetto hospital getup. Okay, I'm talking, I got a pretty French chic purple plastic gown, and it was missing a whole chunk at the back, so it was a very European runway. I then was given these like leg-sucking compression socks that really just dug right in there, so it's really great. And I got not 1, but 3 shower caps, 1 for my head and 2 for my feet. So I was feeling very attractive at that point in my journey. And so I jumped up on a bed. They wheeled me into kind of like the waiting room outside of my surgery room. And they kind of just left me there by myself, sitting in my purple plastic dress, just in this white room. And I remember after about 6 minutes of talking to myself about the fact that I was wearing shower caps on my feet, I realized that I was about to go into surgery any minute now, and my bladder was full. Okay, I'm talking full, okay? No other liquid could survive in there, okay? And I remember, I don't know what it was, like I hadn't drunk any water, I think it was the nerves, but I was like, if I'm gonna go under, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold on to this. And I remember having this pep talk with myself. I'm like, you're a mature adult, Justine. You don't need to go to the toilet. You can hold on, okay? Oh my gosh, I should have gone before I left home. My mum was right. You should have gone before you left home. Maybe I could pee in one of my shower caps. Maybe no one would ever know. And I was having this moral dilemma, and the more that I thought about it, the more that I need to go to the toilet. And then a nurse walked in, and I just told him I gotta pee. And he looked at me a bit funny. I don't think it's a thing that people do, but he let me go. And there I was, jumped off the hospital bed, grabbed the back of my plastic purple dress, and I waddled with all 3 of my shower caps to the toilet, through the hospital. Eventually I came back up on the bed, felt much more at ease, thank you for asking. And there I was again, just me, my shower caps, and my compression socks in this room. And you know what, maybe it's because I wasn't full of all the distractions that I'm used to having around me, full of distractions that normally fill me up. But I started to think. And I realized that I'm so used to having all this stuff filling up my life. And not all of it is bad, some of it is really good, but I'm so used to all this stuff usually filling up my life, my belongings, what I do for work, the people in my life, the clothes that I wear. Look, Clothes are good, don't get me wrong. Wear them and wear them every day, please, okay? But I don't know about you, but sometimes I can think that my worth and my value comes from how good other people think I look or how trending I am. You know, and I sometimes act or dress in a certain way to cover up some insecurities that, if I'm honest, I have. And I'm full of these layers of things and ways and attitudes and jokes that I think I need to say or do or be around people. But you know what? In that moment, when I was lying on the surgery bed, it's like all of that just went on pause. And in this empty room, and with my emptiness, it's like it didn't matter anymore. And the most interesting part of this whole thing is I really feel like I met God there that day. I feel like I encountered God. Of all the flippin' places you can meet God, I met him in a pre-surgery room while I had a shower cap on my head and on my feet. You know, had I known that I was going to meet God that day, maybe I would have chosen a different outfit. But hey, you just got to roll with what you get, okay? And I really feel like God said this to me as I was lying there empty. Justine, this is how I created you to be in the start. Before you filled your life with all this schmancy stuff, some of it is good, but not all of it is great. Before all of that, this is how I created you. It wasn't complicated. I always thought that you were great. And I felt like he was saying, even if you were stuck in a purple plastic gown for the rest of your life, that wouldn't change the fact that I created you great and that you are enough. God used my emptiness to tell me something that I didn't know I needed to hear. To show me something that I couldn't have heard if I was filled with all that other stuff. And that was a pretty profound moment for me in my life. Pretty profound. You know, I was thinking, if you allow it to be, yes, I'm talking to you, I think the next 3 days can be a little bit like my hospital experience for you. So if you look under your seat, I've given you all 3 shower caps and compression socks. No, I'm kidding. I so haven't. You wish. Okay, I know you wish it. But talk to me later. I know a good provider of shower caps. I can hook you up. It can be these next 3 days of your life. Just 3 days can be like my hospital experience in the sense that you are in a different place away from distractions. Some of you have come all the way from Melbourne, to be here. You've come a long way and you had to defrost to come here, and I really appreciate that, okay? You're away from all of those distractions, just like I was in the hospital. And maybe God wants to meet you here in ways that you don't expect, that you have no idea are coming for you in the next 3 days. Or maybe just like me, you want to empty some stuff out and make some room. And God will meet you here. If he can meet me in my stupidity in a pre-surgery room, God can meet you here at Ignite Conference. I know it. That's it. Woo. Now, let me tell you something, okay? And this is where it's gonna get real, all right? But that's okay because we jumped in the deep end and we ditched our floaties like 10 kilometers that way, all right? But over the next 3 days, I don't know if anyone has ever told you this before or given you permission, but God doesn't want you to be the version of yourself that you think you need to be around other people. The cool chick who has all the best clothes, the fully sick ghetto guy from Melbourne. You don't need to be that. You don't need to be the altogether man or woman in your professional life that you might think you need to be. You just need to be you. You just need to be you. It's that simple. There's no catch. There's no fine print. There's no asterisks. And I don't know what you thought you had to bring to this conference. I don't know what you thought you had to offer at this conference, but you don't actually need to bring anything other than yourself. Now, one of the themes of this conference is empty. Obviously, that's the theme. But it's taken from a bit of a longer quote. And that quote is, "Let us be empty so that God can fill us." And I don't even know if you've ever wanted that before, but that's our theme. And being full is not always a bad thing. But sometimes we can be so full of even good things that there's no room for anything else to possibly fill us up. And if that's the case, then we need to know what we've brought into this conference, yeah? Because some of us might have brought a suitcase full of stuff that we're not aware of, that we're like dragging around because it's full. And if that's the case, I want to know what that stuff is. So, here's a suitcase full of stuff that I prepared earlier. And what we have in this suitcase, proudly brought out to us by our model this evening, Caleb. Let's give it up for him. Oh, that spin, that 180-degree spin. What we have in here is maybe some stuff that you've brought into this conference that you might not even be aware of. My suitcase is proudly sponsored by my housemate. Thank you so much, Vivian. Right, what do we have here? All right, we've got all these clothes that I packed that I thought I needed to impress people. You know, maybe we've come into this conference thinking that we need to look a certain way with ideas about who we need to be. But you know what? I'm just going to empty all that stuff out, because what if who you were right now is good enough? So let's just make some space in this suitcase and we'll take that out. I found another one. How embarrassing. Okay, so what do we have here? A cookie cutter. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I put this in my bag. This is crazy. Maybe some of you thought that in coming to a Catholic conference, that you had to be the perfect cookie cutter mold of the perfect Christian Catholic. Maybe you thought that that's what you had to be, and maybe you look at yourself and like, well, I'm not like that. I might not have ever really been into my Catholic stuff, or maybe I don't feel like a very good Catholic right now. I don't feel worthy. What if I told you a secret? And what if that secret is that there is no such thing as a perfect Catholic, and that you are so welcome here? So I'm going to go right ahead, and I'm going to put that on the floor, okay? Take that out of here. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I packed my TV from my room. This is insane. I'm just going to play some Game Boy. I can't play Game Boy on a TV. What the heck am I even talking about? Please ignore backspace. I'm so embarrassed. I brought my TV in case I got bored. Because you know what? This clothes is getting in the way. There are some people in this room who are not sold out on being here yet. And for whatever reason, you don't want to be here. Maybe your mum forced you to be here. I know it's a thing. It happens every year. Thanks, Mum. Yeah, I really want to go to a conference that I know nothing about. Maybe your mum forced you to be here. Maybe you're a teacher and it's your school holidays and your school gave you no choice but to come to this conference with your students. And maybe you've made a decision. Not all teachers are like that. I'm sorry that I've put that stereotype on you. We love our teachers. Can we give it up for our teachers? You guys are great. But maybe we don't want to be here right now, and that's what we're feeling. Maybe we've made a decision that none of this conference is going to be relevant to me. None of it is going to be interesting, and I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to consume myself in my phone or other distractions because it's not for me. Well, you know what? I want to challenge that. Because even if you don't feel like you want to be here, I think God wants you to be. I know God wants you to be here. So I'm going to empty that out and I'm going to leave that right there. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, no way. Cheeseburgers. I'm not even kidding you. I have cheeseburgers in my bag. This is amazing. I'm not even gonna... Yeah, I packed my bag 3 days ago, but it's okay. They're not off. They're still great. Did you guys ever see that Big Mac that lasted like 25 years? It's crazy. Well, you know what? I'm not actually going to empty that out. I'm just going to save that for after this, so I'm just going to keep that there. Cool. All right. My car keys. Maybe you have come into this conference. I was going to finish my cheeseburger, so... I took a really big bite. My mum always told me not to eat with your mouth full, and I think she was right. Eat with your mouth full, talk with... I'm just showing off now, okay, and it's come back to bite me in the bum. Car keys. Maybe you've come into this conference with plans or ideas about what you want to do with your life. Maybe you have no idea about what you want to do with your life, and you've come to this conference in the hope that you'll figure it out. Maybe that excites you. Maybe you're freaking out. Maybe you've given God an ultimatum. God, you have 3 days. 3 days to tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life, and if you don't, well, you know what? I'm just going to empty that out and make some space, because God does have a plan for you, and it is great, and it's going to prosper you. But how about we let him write the story? So I'm just going to go right ahead and empty that out and make some space, okay? My high school textbook, my high school RE textbook, the sheer violence and no. Maybe you're an A+ student, and you know up here everything that there is to know about God, or maybe God is just a story for you, or maybe you are a teacher of sorts that has taught this for 80,000 RE classes, and you think you know everything there is to know about God. I'm going to empty that out. Because maybe God doesn't want to fill your mind with any more facts. Maybe he wants to fill your heart over the next few days, and maybe we just need to make a bit of room for him to do this. Lastly, my Band-Aids, that's right. They're not the Wiggles ones that I wanted. Band-Aids. Maybe some of you have come into this conference and you're hurting. And I don't know your story. I don't know why you are hurting. But I think God wants to fill you. I think he does. But I'm going to empty even my hurt out. And I'm just going to make some space. I'm just going to make some space for God. You know, I didn't realize I was so full. I packed my bag, but I didn't realize I was so full. And you know what? Sometimes we're so full that the idea of being completely empty feels really uncomfortable, because we're always so used to being so full. And maybe you didn't realize that you were so full. And you know what? We're not giving this stuff up. I'm not giving this up by laying it out on the ground. God isn't going to chuck this stuff away because it's important to you. He's not going to steal your stuff when you're not looking and go and sell it on eBay, okay? That's not the kind of God that we have. All you would be doing is emptying this stuff out, seeing what God might want to fill you with. That's all. And when we turn up empty, with nothing, God turns up with everything. He turns up with everything. He doesn't show up without a present to your party. He is the party. That's the kind of God that I'm talking about here. He is always so much more than we imagine. But the thing is, he's not like a Macca's drive-thru, okay? Where you place your order of what you want at the first window. I'll have a Big Mac and fries. And I really want to find a husband at this conference, so I'll place an order for one of them. And if I could have $1 million, that'd be great. Oh yeah, sure, no worries. Just drive through the second window and it'll be there for you, okay? No. That's not how God works. You might not get what you thought you wanted out of the next 3 days, but the God who loves you and knows you and thinks that you're enough, he'll give you what you need, okay? He will give you what you need. So give him some space, okay? Don't try and smuggle this stuff back into your suitcase. I still have a cheeseburger in my pocket. I just realized it's like warm again. It's like a fresh one, you know? Over the next 3 days, God doesn't just want to fill you with quick fixes. Over the next 3 days, God doesn't just want to fill you with some more fun facts about who Jesus is. God wants to fill your life with himself, with who he is. He doesn't just press the replay, repeat button on your life. That's not the kind of God that we believe in. So whether you are full or whether you are hungry, whether you're rich or poor, you're wearing makeup or you're not wearing makeup, whether you have your stuff all together or not, whether you're convinced about being here or not, whether you are happy or not so happy about being here, whether you are a volunteer, whether you are a group leader, whether you are Patrick Keaty, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a sister or you're flipping Justine Cumbo, you know what? What if for the next 3 days, what if God wanted to fill you with something out of this world? What if over the next 3 days we actually emptied our stuff out, our good stuff, maybe some bad stuff that we don't want anymore, and we actually let God be God and let God fill it? What if God actually had something incredible in store for you, but he's just waiting for you to shove over and let him? Because when it's God who fills us, and not just our stuff, whether it's good or bad or both, when it's God who fills us, the possibilities are endless. They are endless. And he's not going to make you into someone you don't want to be, so don't worry about that. God isn't trying to trap you. He's not going to make you into a boring kind of person. No, he wants to fill you with good and great things. And I want some good and great things, so give me some of that. Does it mean that your life will be perfect after these 3 days? No, it doesn't. I'm really sorry. Does it mean that your problems will be solved? No. What does it mean? He wants to fill your life with truth. He wants to fill your life with experiences that stretch you, that challenge you, that grow you, that teach you more about what you are capable of, that make you laugh. He wants to fill you with experiences that make us step out of the ordinary, with experiences that help us to step out of situations that we might feel stuck in right now. God wants to fill you with joy as well. So don't be scared to live a little these next 3 days with me. Live a little and empty some stuff out for God. Let God fill your life, fill your suitcase with stuff that is way better than yours. Let him do that. And when you turn up empty-handed, God sees that and he meets you there. So, this is the fun part because it means that I'm going to stop talking in approximately 63 seconds. And then it's over to you. It's over to you. Over the next few days, I know with my gut, I know that these next 3 days are going to be filled with God-filling moments. But you got to be ready for them. And it might not hit you like a Disney movie, Hollywood blockbuster moment, like a lightning bolt out of the sky, because that's not real, and God is. And he works with us in the everyday. So let's shove over. Let's move out of the way. Let's make space for God in our life so that he can fill us. You know what? It could be in the crazy loud moments that you have an experience of God filling you up. It could be in the quiet moments. It could be in a toilet line. It could be in a workshop, in a rally, in mass. It could be someone you meet. It could be one sentence you hear that fills you up, that changes your life. So I have a question for you. You don't need to answer this, yeah, and just cheer for the sake of cheering. I have a question for you that I want you to answer in here. Because your answer to this question is super important to how the next 3 days goes. Are you ready? Are you ready to make some space for what God has to fill you with? Are you ready to give him a shot? The first shot, maybe for some of you. Maybe it's a re-shot for someone else. Are you ready to empty something out so that God can fill you? He knows where you're at. He knows where you're sitting right now. He knows where you're at, and he will meet you there, okay? So don't be afraid. 3 days. Let's go. Let's put on our purple plastic gowns. Let's whip out our compression socks and our shower caps. And let's be ready. Let's have our hearts ready, our minds open, and our hands empty for whatever it is that God wants to give you. I'm excited. It is going to be great. So let it begin. Thank you.